Say hi am in so cry you dey bus cry enya bi enu nti na ye toto roba ye di so guma so the by on pani panentro sabi so Galamsey ase no mu na wakonya yare nti eguso ayese e ka ho asem na ene aban bom na ye mie ni an yetimi ye enu so ho adwu
that kasa na wo kasa aye no a highly political statement.
Who's that?
Yes.
How?
Nanado eti ase no eti akonya so no na ukọ enkura mining communities na enso net se mpampa utumi de won sasa na gu nsem.
Tell us, do you think that my penny plans is working, and I say we still have to wait, and I say we should declare the state of emergency, and I say there are more plans on the way you be solve this problem?
Thank you very much, Ziga, and thanks so much for having me, Mamencha, Doc, the Prophet in her for sharing the platform with them. I wonder why you couldn't give me an opportunity to have a bite on the xenophobic issues in South Africa. But I mean, that's okay.
I'm sorry.
What
I'm sorry.
What declared me send me a Galamsey Pierre, so me to
believe. You put this
so yes, clearly, clearly he was talking about the need for community support, the need for the church to also play a role in all facets of the Ghanaian life or the Ghanaian society. While making concrete evidence, he said Galamsey seems to have worsened today. The Stone Age challenges now. But yes, let me admit on your show, say, mix me for zone no more of the case so. And Kasach and anonymous say Galamsey has become a thing of the past. No, Galamsey too tired. But the media could drag a lot of the bodies I can be in a say, but we are buying for Galamsey and talk on free. No, in hope you make considerable strides. Considerable milestone has been made. Positive signs have begun to show on the wall. Recently, Utie Sofupeni Ira Ajenasari, former Pentecostal pastor, or say yes, Galamsey too try there, but Utimu say emphasis pastor there, as I said every muba. Now that the same thing happened with the Catholic Bishops Conference when they said they've acknowledged that something positive is being done about the fight against illegal mining. And the Americans said all the forests that were under siege, declare state of emergency. Now, clear the free forest in Sri Lanka. The government's initiative have been able to clear those people out of the forest and declare state of emergency. It means indeed alternative now. President Khan said he has an alternative to declaring state of emergency. Is beginning to show positive signs and positive results. I just picked a recent data from the Water Resource Commission, and you can see drastic turbidity improvement. But Zika said they wouldn't know. Maybe mommy have done to more said you or no school one could be turbidity data on here. It's in India and so on there. And so no can call from our own funds or body or from no be arnum. Now, busy and I don't know, person need to say you wine. The quiet no to Galamsey Moncano. A becata so be and Riamana seen that the way I have Mamono. Now, one who is a fade yet, Galamsey no a Susan Shanswini. But until Sensu and the betting wine, no matter the data you put out there, Nimia Ghana and Inua, the main and ultimate aim, since soon by Papa Mayan, and I would never understand you. And so, yes, there's still more work to be done. And on the map, Minium Crancher said, Utie Asamas of Penny Opoku in a Kaina. Was say, Yenina Bois. Yenina Boana, and also Yetimi is CC, a word humano. I hope I'm for 50 cases, Namenda Soft Penias, Namenda Ghana, so for an insurance story in Nasa, Namenda Mons and Tref was say, Iweji is shy of Kukesi Galamsey, Obiantenaye. Kakranka. Said the Mampenica, Ziga, and Yana Jobako Pentokwa, Nansu 6 be adding him so Concasia, then I had to say, MY and MY in Chilima, MY Datino. Maybe this couldn't in our lifetime. No, my gun, I found to my perfect. Just this morning, in a meeting with the responsible cooperative mining team. A registration covering about 179 communities.
I see.
In the coming days, you will see a lot of them being a friend launched there. Mabuno, we have given them training, we are giving them the needed PPE. And landscape restoration, World Bank project, BIA, University of Mines, Watakwa, Sikabuchia is a locally manufactured technology. Here's how they make Rebecca once and where you go to know. Our University of Mines, Ghana University, yet the test grade near the in a castle mass production near the Amaya Tizana minus here. These are all strategic plans. Buying yes, you go to the Serbia on Serbia Cronto. We have issues with unemployment. It's nipa be did go to know them inquire before so be good na san ye did hono and no say ya ban di go akwam say nyina no enko fa how be a emre nti that's of opinion say ye da Ghana for say but ye say the all pamo no ziga wan san ya wo nya home aban is still waging an uncompromising fight na ziga the only when you deny so on daily basis. NIMOS is on our water bodies, they are in our forests, making sure say nobody makes an incursion to go to destroy those resources. NIMOS cannot be everywhere. And until you see something, say something. Who know maybe say come bottom a bit me this transboni abreun sunu, a bit me this transboni abro kwano, a bit me your how break kunua. You reach out on various avenues the Amagana fono. Na NIMOS a 2 said the bear, yin any so who say, oh my Ghana bafano to my pafran, yet me for fra.
Can say and NIMOS as one of the year President Mahama the bar, we have seen them working, honestly speaking. But what can NIMOS assembly say see something, say something? NIMOS omuntimi ngo bebiano. Mame chwa dwene si bisu say okọ Tano North Municipal and I said Tano North constituency. We saw a documentary by our brother Erastus Asarodonko. Now or accusing the Tano North MC so Galamsey. In fact, he brought a video actualities and photos. The MC, who that expose, he took Nananom and the opinion leaders to different place. I said the Erastus, the other Erastus we cannot obwa. But later on, Erastus came to show us the reality. Church said the MC in Kano was shadow what creative bit at the Qatar the oil. So in fact, it was established according to the video. Allegedly said the MC pious oye Galamsey. Then people had called for NIMOS to go to the place and investigate it, but NIMOS are yet to be there. So if he says see something, say something. Do you think that NIMOS are taking what you are saying?
Ebiana Komono Minia Penny do any Achekakra. But the reality is that NIMOS has been in the area a couple of times, and the most important focus of NIMOS is say, Babia Smo Bianco Nobeko no be any home. The other bit of investigation the Yana is in the hands of other state agencies and more mukaka. Be winning himself quite queen, Ministry of Lands and Qua. A quadruple field work for Ministry of Lands, Ministry of Local Government, Ministry of Interior, Ministry of Defense. In fact, a Bimukra to Ministry of Environment, Babi Rera, Sanko Moemo. And unti said DCEB, I didn't go see Mampania, our local government minister, a penny or 2 Anamobia, M1 fight here. Local government minister must as well be interested. Send Nano Sebi. Amongst central issues by so local government minister. I believe it would have been very important for all of us to know the reality on grounds, either in your penny Russell's alleged video, Sanet here and otherwise. But the only way a bit when say Ebi and Kira Ahmed Becker said, Yenye Honso Himuni Yempa no Masible. Media, I'll use your platform to call for an investigation into that matter. But Ziga said they will know see a case swearing in the major Ministry of Lands on Quadia. There will be duplication of functions.
Yeah.
Because we were Amako Fibwa. Or no, I say Koi, Yempa Namos, Yempa Kadiama Namos, Yempa Kadiaka reclamation, Yempa Kadiama Nipanku Susu, Inji boat near dear. Now on one as ever MMDC, who Comodia. I'm say a idea about my Jumano. higher than the but I believe other adjoining sectors and ministry are also doing their best to help us as far as the fight against illegal mining is of concern.
All right, just my Mrs. Kabona, my engage Prof from so that if you are Prof from react, you can take a bite now. You are close to, so let me go to Professor Kipo. So, Prof, in Nana Akufo-Addo's time, he amended the Mining Act and brought the minimum sentence of 5 years to 15 years, then the maximum of 15 years to 25 years. It did not improve the fight. It did not yield any result for us. In fact, we had police and military joint action. It did not yield any result, including the Operation Vanguard. We brought speedboat to a strategic places, rivers, banks to fight the Galamsey. We did not see any result. Now President Mahama has come. He has revoked the LI 2462, as you are aware, and he has brought a NIMUS. You've been following the Galamsey issues in this country as a security expert. Are you satisfied with the current fight against the Galamsey, or are you satisfied with how the fight is going on now?
All right, thank you very much, and also thanks to the public relations officer for the ministry and my colleague. I certainly, as Galamsey is certainly a big problem for us, and as our dear man of God rightly put it, it's a big problem. I don't normally want to see that it is an NDC or it's an MPP matter, but it is a national crisis, and it's a security problem for us. And I will want to use this platform to make my humble appeal that Galamsey is a thing that every Ghanaian should have an interest. We should all see that this is the only country that we have, Ghana. And the gold that we have, we can have a very decent way of getting the gold. Before this reckless mining style came in there, we have had Obuasi gold mine, we have had Takwa, we have had a Gotia mine. Mining has been going on. So, but I think that why Ghanaians in our normal senses can just go to a riverside, plant a machine there, destroy all the water, at least that level of responsible mining is something that is bothering me. And I think that I would want to use this platform to say that we as Ghanaians should take the thing upon ourselves. It's not a politician who will stop it. It's not a community leader, but we as Ghanaians must see that that is the only country we have. And that is the only water that we have. And so everyone, it is the duty of every Ghanaian to come together so that we stop this particular thing. And how do we stop it? The other question is, when we stop it, where is the other livelihood? We used to do farming, but now the Galamsey has come in that our forest reserve, our cocoa farms, our plantain farms are turning into it. So if we say what we can stop it and still go back to our farming. Yeah. So we were having our livelihood before it. And I think that is something that we as Ghanaians, I always, everywhere I want to speak Galamsey, I just put it to every Ghanaian should see it as a threat. Your life, my life, everybody's life is at stake. It will get to a point that we will not have water to drink here in Ghana. Are we waiting to have the situation like Sudan? Are we waiting to have the situation in other Saharan region, whereby people go to import water? You have water tanker that will take water and bring it. Here, we may be getting into it. We will get to a point that we will not have any fresh water. You go to the Volta Lake, we cannot drink it. You go to the Black Volta, you go to the White Volta, you go to River Pra, River Oti. That is where we are going. And that is why I will want to appeal to the conscience of Ghanaians that this is the only country we have. And if we continue with this irresponsible mining, polluting our water, then we will not have a country. All of us will die and leave this country because of mercury. And that is where I think that we as Ghanaians must come up, at least put an end to it. We can do the mining. You can even put up a dam, construct a dam, wall the whole area, and use it for that. And that will serve that purpose. We have mining that has been done in a very decent way, and that is the decent one that we need to go. If that is why we need a mineral, let's do it in a very decent manner. The DC cannot run around. The Ministry of Lands and Forest and Natural Resources, they are doing what they can do. The minister, the deputy, the ministry, they are doing what they can do. The local government is doing what they can do. But I think we as Ghanaians, the owners like us, to also be able to put an end to it. Look at the pictures that we are seeing. The people, they are Ghanaians. We are destroying our land. We are destroying our water. And what else will be left for us? We will even get the money from the mining, and you use the money to treat yourself, and you cannot even be treated. So for me, I think we must team up. We must team up. Government is doing what it can do. His Excellency John Mahama, his ministers are doing what they can do. Our chiefs are doing, our ministers are all doing. But I think that it is a joint, it's a collective issue that all of us must do it. And I want to commend the media for always keeping pictures. Joy FM, Kesbin, what the picture you are showing. This is a very important thing. Let's continue to use the public relation, and let's continue to display, to make the appeal to the conscience of every Ghanaian that Ghana belongs to us, and we must protect our water and our land, and that is the message I have. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Hold on for me. Let me go to Dr. Paulo. So, Doc, they're saying that one of the indicators that you can base on to know that Galamsey is going on giddy is when you keep hearing the news. In Kufuor's time, we kept hearing the news every day. Galamsey was on radio every day. Galamsey was on TV. Now we are not hearing that as it ought to be. That people think that President Mahama's fight is being progressively is making progress, gradually is making progress. Now tell us, per the report from Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and what we have seen, some of the videos that some of the rivers are not clean. I've seen some rivers are clean, and some of the a forest reserve that's been declared as a security zone, and now we have seen the greeny side of it. Is Prof. Apostle Nyameche, is he not exaggerating that they don't get water to baptize their people? Is it not an exaggeration?
In fact, if you pay attention to Kabore's response to the man of God, he said that all of us, by any action, particular advocacy, research, security, reporting, we are all doing our bit to contributing to the fight against Galamsey. I don't think that the man of God will be exaggerating. What I rather think is that the fight against Galamsey, like corruption, is not something, it's not a 9-day wonder. It will certainly take some time. One thing that I do like about the current government's approach is the expansion of the scope of the fight against Galamsey. Yeah. You realize that even Erasmus Asaridonko, who, some government appointees earlier thought that he was reporting the government too much, he has more or less been embraced. I'm not saying that everyone in government today likes him, but I think that he has been more embraced today. What that simply means is that his research is very critical in pointing to NIMOS, in pointing to scientists, in pointing to the EPA, where the critical matters lie. So for me, the man of God may just be reporting things that ordinary Ghanaians see every day. That Galamsey has not gone, even though significant efforts have been made. As I said, one of the things that we need to be focusing on is the local actors, people on the ground. Now, if you see something, say something.
Yeah.
In most cases, we only say something when what we have seen does not have economic bearing on me. So if I see something bad, I am likely going to say something about it if I know that I don't benefit from it.
Yeah.
And that is why it is very critical at the local level to involve everybody who can see something. When you say something, it suggests somebody coming from somewhere and then he's waiting for someone to report because you have seen something.
Yeah.
It should rather just be all of us, and we should be watchdogs. We should all be watchdogs of ourselves. we are reporting to ourselves. What that means is that community or local committees are there serving as watchdogs. The district assembly is there, the local police. Otherwise, I cannot be a police officer in say, Adibia, and then someone comes from Accra, Naimos, or comes from Kumasi to serve as a security. I can actually even collude with local people to do more of the Galamsey. So, whilst I think thanking the government for some frantic efforts that have been made, I think that there should be a lot of conscious efforts to involving local people as much as possible. They could be women, they could be youth leaders, they could be local committee actors of any standard or any level. Make sure these people are involved. Otherwise, Galamsey has eaten very deep. I can assure you, Ziga, you know about it. It has eaten very deep. And to start with was the revision or the attempted repeal of that particular LI, which allowed mining in the forest and the rivers. That was the beginning of the recent times doom in the Galamsey fight. Fortunately, I think that we are all, as Prof. Kipo said, we are all now seeing that, look, if care is not taken, we may all have to buy water from outside. You go to the market, you buy something, and you are really not sure whether you are safe. So for me, I don't know. I haven't been to most of the fields. I've been to the field before, but not now. But all I can say is that at least one of the things that has contributed to the reduced noise, I use noise in quotes, the reduced noise about Galamsey, part of the reason is that the government has seen the need now to involve a lot of actors.
Okay.
And the media inclusive. Your works have been acknowledged. Erastus himself has more time. He can reach many more places. Even though, of course, we have seen a number of attacks on government appointees at Galamsey sites. I think that there's some level of tolerance at the level of the government to embrace, critics, embrace research. And I think if we continue to do more, embracing research, embracing investigation, and embracing local actors in this fight. Otherwise, look, you can block all the excavators from coming through our ports. But I can assure you there will be locals who would manufacture these Sanfan machines at any place, and they will still use it on our rivers and our forests. So one of the best things is widening the scope of the people in this fight against Galamsey. And I think that people like Erastus Asaidonko must be celebrated. People like Kesbin TV, all the things you show us, you have to be celebrated. But of course, in contributing to the fight against Galamsey, we should also, try to reduce sensationalism. Some people want to report to just make Galamsey issue sound as if we are almost dying. The situation is serious, but I think that governments should just continue to expand the actors, continue to expand the security actors, expand even if it gets to the point where you have to take health personnel to the field. It is very important to do so. Agriculturalists have to be involved. EPA people have to be involved. Local committee members have to be involved. We have to sit down, perhaps shut down illegal mining for some period, and sit down and redesign the strategy. It is unfortunate that Ghana has become perhaps the highest in terms of gold production. This is an achievement that we cannot celebrate beyond the economy.
Okay. So
I always say that this is an achievement that we cannot celebrate. We can only celebrate at the minimum level of GDP, but it is difficult to celebrate broadly as a society simply because of some of the effects that we see in terms of illegal mining. So if you ask me whether the government is doing well, I cannot say yes or no, but what I see is the tolerance of the other actors who have sought to expose what is happening in the Galamsey fight. For instance, what the church has just revealed, the government should take it not necessarily as maybe an alarm bell or an opposition bell, but something that should let all of us reflect. If it is possible to apply the state of an emergency, it is possible to do it. And for me, I think President Mahama so far, this is a time, I would say he has exited honeymoon, but he still has very good will. We see a lot of support across the citizens. So if he takes an action any emergency, just for some 2 weeks, for us to sit and re-strategize and see where we go as a country, it will help all of us. If you go online right now and ask Google to rank countries that are severely affected by illegal mining in Africa, Ghana is right up there, before even Congo, Burkina Faso, Senegal, and the rest. So I think that the government can do more by expanding the strategies. And I'm sure in the next few years, there will be very much more significant.
Doc, just a minute on this before I go to Kabori. Then we close. We don't hear from Galamsey issues again, honestly speaking, because I'm a broadcaster. I speak on TV and radio 24/7, 6 days in a week, and I know the current affairs, what is going on. We don't hear much about the Galamsey noise again, unlike the 2022, 23, 24, and early part of 2025 or latter part of 2025. Does it mean that we are in progress, or we are getting results, or the media are fed up of discussing Galamsey? Means that they have exhausted everything that they have to say, or they are just fed up. We don't care again.
You know, Ghanaians will never be fed up with anything, particularly anything bad. If you look, I always keep comparing Galamsey to corruption. If you look at when we started fighting corruption and where we are today, we should have given up long ago. So Galamsey fight, I think that you could trace it back to the last less than 20 years that this matter really became a national issue. What I see again, as I said, particularly towards the 2024 elections, it became a political tool. You are aware of that. And that is corruption also. Usually towards elections, corruption and Galamsey would become, political tools. So one of the reasons why it was such a high tone from 2020 to 2024, of course, the NDC government was then talking to the political party, NDC then, talking to civil society organizations, drumming home new strategies. So these new strategies gave a lot of people the hope that, of course, the MPP was failing in the fight against Galamsey. So it was easy for a lot of people to plug in and say that, look, use this strategy if you are not using this strategy. And particularly, as I keep making reference to, the LI on mining in forests and on river bodies, that thing, I think the forest one, that thing was the breaker for the fight against Galamsey.
Yeah.
And so at that moment, you expected a lot of civil society organizations to rise up. What I see today, as I said, there is more tolerance. That particular point is really important in the fight against Galamsey today. So it's difficult for you and I. Reports that we read would tell us that water turbidity has improved, but it is difficult to measure whether government is going the right direction. The only thing I would say government has done so well is that tolerance and the expansion of the people who participate in Galamsey.
Okay.
So for me, if some lessons are learned, and in the next 1 year, we see more improvement, we see more prosecutions, we see more community involvement, we see more stringent laws. Gold Board is still new, so we expect more stringent laws to come out of Gold Board to actually improve on the dignity of our mining industry.
Okay.
I think all of these things, if we do a lot of revisions, you would say that the government has got things right. But of course, as like corruption, it will take a long time. That one I see it, and it's worrying. Yeah.
All right. Let me go to Mohammed Kabori now. Yeah, for to Apostle Kabori, Prof. Doc. We are talking about the progress making so far. Progress here making now say yenti Galamsey one Symbian. Is it because there are some people are almost battle court case? And the media, the DHR, publicity, but TV. So we are I don't want to mention names, but we are court. So that one is serving deterrent for others. Biama as a conform, I'm sure, and also Kahubiana. Hello, Kabo.
First of all, Ziga, I want to commend Doc and Prof for that words of encouragement and commendation. Indeed, when you are serving the public and you get to understand, they appreciate some of the intervention being put in place, especially the posture of government towards the citizenry. It's quite refreshing. And we have an upcoming program where we believe sensitization, education, and awareness creation will play a very key role in all of this. If the person understands the negative effects, the ravaging effects of illegal mining on his life, on her life, on the life of his or her community, it makes it very easier for reporting channels to be well activated. And so we'll follow you so that you link us to Doc and Prof when we want to embark on such a community awareness and sensitization. But all in all, I want to say that probably Ghanaians have appreciated the genuine commitment and the political will that has been shown over the period. You see, it's not always about Ghanaians are not the people that demand so much. Ghanaians are not the people that look for overnight solution. Ghanaians just want to know whether you are putting in the right energy, whether you are very intentional about the things that you're doing.
Your time is the bad factor me. Prof ne Doc, Prof na no more canon. Sebi they have a problem with tree, but why we tree need the one that on myself? Coachy mama why? Mr.
It's kind of for that's how much suka kreni na no. And you say ebi omo feel say Galamsey akugu. And one cabre no mobile. But I believe, say, one more betia say, Ura don't remind Mahama, or Wakuma Pa, why we are there so say, or Pese Galamsey, who to us here. The sector minister, Mia Mura, or Munafo, Emmanuel Kofi Buan, so Ushana Namu tu, na Hofama, any Sebi, the posture. Okunkrumu wako Galamsey site and komu dini adia. And that the beface are some no than a coma ponoswa. I don't ask Ghana phone crying. Now, Sabu, Uba Bemono, Washer, Nema Bibo, L 246 to be Simama, Quayemu, Sikago go to Aye, Adia, Ebitromu, Nam, Parampara, Niampa, Uba, Emra, Meli Bankwame, quiet Kutuno, where is Amra Nefru, where declares a national security area, a quiet national security area. Or resource mabuno through the responsible cooperative mining. Into one Koko says when go through registration and training to be part of the responsible cooperative mining scheme. A fair winning geological survey department, Akasa, and blind mining beam. Let's identify the exact spot where they all are. Into what I'm concession, I wouldn't be our cover with you. Never go to baby at the end of the day, the Winyamon to Monka. And they yet track excavator bum to know where the excavators are going. We always say, any baby excavator any feedback, any baby according in the Equakoya. Ziga, we are 50% away controlling the legal mine. Because none of that and none of this is so and then pink gas into at the end and so be answer emergence of sophisticated machinery to say a bulldozer no excavator and a drill highway in our but you bet me control no ye sebi ye no me bet my inshira amaya so mine enti all in all make I say abanya ho farmer sonko abanya ku anani ku okon no ho Ghana for bi sitru mun centre for tire motai okun no achi nyina ka ho na ama Ghana for dodo no anya hoto so say for once say the Ghana for nyina ye baako omutai abayachi omutai minister chi omokun okun die ehun hia se de kasa beteti omo ye mo mu nyina chi dom na se ti bia no nkunimdie betimi afirimu aba and I believe that is what is fueling that particular silence in the system.
Thank you very much.